This is Mary Omni from the House of King David. This is a Republic Notice. This Republic Notice asks a question. Frederick Douglass, white wife, and lynchings, are they related? Frederick Douglass, white wife, and lynchings, are they related? Let's talk about Frederick Douglass for a minute. A great man, great orator, abolitionist, a political strategist. He was one of the first emancipated people to run, black persons to run for political office, vice presidency, and the Equality Party. He pushed the male vote, the female vote. This man, magnificence, can be measured up against any historical figure that helped form this union and this kind. Now, and his signature is on the Constitution as the 15th Amendment, by the way. Because some people say, well, it's not no black signatures on it. Well, the 15th Amendment is a whole amendment. That's the body of black men. But he's not a 15th Amendment himself. But his signature is on it because he pushed the 15th Amendment. The reason he's not a 15th Amendment is because he's not Judah. The 15th Amendment is Judah. Frederick Douglass was Ephraim. His mother was Judah. But he had a Caucasian father, which means that he was born Ephraim. Now, the question was, Frederick Douglass, white wife, and the lynchings, are they related? Now, I have to do videos like this to teach constitutionality, because when I give you something like constitutional religious freedom and the 411, you don't look into it. You want to still kind of like remain constitutionally ignorant, and you want to deal with controversial and things, but you need to begin to really bear down and learn what I am putting forth about the Constitution. Stuff that may bore you, you need to force yourself to listen to rather than remain ignorant. There's too much constitutional ignorance going on among blacks. Unfortunately, the schools didn't teach them anything, and the colleges really don't understand the Constitution as they should. Now, Frederick Douglass married a white woman in 1884. Around this time, it was a lot of stirring going on, because after the Civil War and a lot of things had transpired, blacks had constitutionality, and the white Esau males was feeling very, very threatened. They was feeling very threatened. They was feeling very threatened about black men gaining political power, which a lot of black men gained political power, and we had black senators in the 1800s like it wasn't nothing. So in the gaining of political power, they felt as though they would move in on white women, and white women would naturally be attracted to a powerful man. And Frederick Douglass was a pretty powerful man in his own right, and he did marry a white woman. So if they were threatened, we may say that he had some contribution because he was well known. He was well known and as a statesman, and he did marry a white woman. Now, let's talk about his marriage, first of all. Bear with me now. Bear with me. Learn a little bit of history. Frederick Douglass was married to Anna Murray Douglass in 1838 from 1838 to 1882, which was 44 years of him being married to a black woman. So he married a black woman first. And this is what a lot of times you don't hear. He was married to a black woman 44 years. He was married to a black woman 44 years, and she died. She passed away. And 2 years later, he married this Caucasian woman by the name of Helen Pitts Douglass. Now, the Caucasian woman he married was similar to him in this. They were both Ephraim heirs. They were both Ephraim heirs. Frederick Douglass married Judah first, then he married an Ephraim heir. An Ephraim heir, white woman. So there was no illegality to their marriage. Both of them had constitutionality. Do you understand? They had constitutionality. This is way before the woman vote threw white women out of the Constitution to serve globalists and foreign evil doctrines of consent. And so, therefore, he married someone within the Constitution that was part of our holy union, a holy Gentile. So his marriage to her was not illegal then, although the outside people like Esau could have perceived it as a threat that black men would begin to marry their white women, which were Esau Eddas. But this was not an Esau Edda. He couldn't have married an Esau Edda. She was a holy Gentile. And both of them had constitutionality as Ephraim heirs. So he was correct constitutionally to marry an Ephraim heir after he had became a widower, whatever you call a male, after his wife passed away that he was married to 44 years, which was a Judaic woman. Now, this is what we need to understand about that. It's not so much that I'm talking about them being with heathen whores and white women. I'm talking about the fact they have no constitutionality. They incorporate doctrine, contracts of public debt, whoredom, abomination of desolation, that leads to nothing but the abyss. And this is what they are creating children from women who vote and consent and are not really a vote, they call it a vote, but are contracts of consent to the abyss of evil lizard demon infiltration and control and dominance. And that is desolation of abomination contracts. That's why their children are bastards. If Frederick Douglass would have had any children with this white woman, it would not have been a bastard. Both of them were Ephraim heirs. Okay, both of them had constitutionality. Both of them were holy Gentiles. Frederick Douglass is half black. She was white. But Frederick Douglass was married to a full black Judaic woman first for 44 years. So I just wanted to brief that moment. Did he threaten the Esau? Of course they were threatened. Of course they were threatened. They're always threatened. This is Mary Omni from the House King David. Shalom.